All right, senior home business family, how you guys doing today? Got Drew in the house, and you know me. You see me every week. You see Drew every week now. So fantastic. I am super excited about what TSL is offering, Drew. I could not be more elated as it has evolved over time. I mean, this is something that we launched just the middle of February of this year, 2025. And so I don't know what is that, like 8 months? And a whole lot of partners throughout the nation. You guys go on tourseniorliving.org. You can see all the partners. You can see if your territory is available. And we're going to talk today about TSL being a bridge, because what makes TSL so powerful outside of all the intricacies of it, outside of all how it functions, because there's so many layers of TSL that just makes it phenomenal for the senior placement agent out there. But we're going to talk today about it being a bridge, because it's not a franchise and you're not just operating as an independent senior placement agent, even though you keep your independent senior placement status. That is phenomenal. And so you do have assigned territory for the technology, but you're still free to go anywhere and anywhere just to do the business. I mean, that's one of the parts of the business, Drew, that I've loved over the years, is just I'm not confined to and restricted to certain zip codes. And that's what you get with franchises, right? And I get the concept. I'm not bagging on franchises. It's just when I got into this business, I really thought of getting involved in a franchise. I won't mention the name, but there was only one franchise available at the time, and I seriously considered it. They were considerably less back then. The one I was looking at was like $50,000 up front. Now they're like 75, 85. They've gone up over the years, and everything's gone up, right? So again, not being critical of them, but so I was going to do that. But the more I thought about it, it's like, man, I'm really being locked in or restricted to like 5 zip codes. I don't want to do that. What if I do want to expand to the coast, right? Because I'm in Central California. What if I want to expand to the coast? What if I want to go down south just to Bakersfield, which is only like an hour and a half away, and that wouldn't be in my area, or surrounding areas? It wouldn't be. So I didn't like that. And there's plenty of people that want to start a business like this, and they go, man, I don't like the franchise model. Maybe it's the money issue, or maybe it's just the part I don't like is being restricted. And then they go, I really like the independent senior placement status. We're going to go into a little bit today about the benefits of that. But they're like, man, I've got no resources. And Drew, TSL is just kind of that bridge. It brings the person that really wants that national support, but doesn't want to be a franchisee, and they want that freedom, but they don't want to be on their own and not have any tools, right? So that's kind of what TSL does.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's one of the most exciting parts about this business is that there's so much room to grow and expand into. But when you're locked into a franchise and like you can only operate in these zip codes, you're very much constrained on what you can do. But I think a lot of the franchisees don't feel the constraints so much because they're kind of limited in what they can do. If the only way to get a placement is to have someone call you and you have to go through the whole process, the number of placements you can do per month is sort of limited, right? And so what's cool about TSL is not only it frees you from the constraints of territory, but it also, the sky is the limit on how many placements you can do in a month. That's what's so exciting about it, because now you're creating a way to generate placements without having to slog through all the phone and the hand holding with every single client that you support.
Yeah, and I just like the whole idea. I mean, the two extremes, right? You got one side, the franchise model, a lot of control, which I get. You're really, in my opinion, right, wrong, or indifferent, you're really buying a job. And
Yeah.
that's one thing I struggled with when I was considering a franchise, is that I was buying a job. I was spending all this money, and they're going to give me support, and now they're going to be controlling what I do. I think of a person not long ago, I heard from one of my friends, and they know somebody that has a franchise, which I've known a lot of people about senior placement franchises, everything from Care Patrol to Oasis and Senior Authority and all that. But this one particular person I don't know, but she bought into the franchise model about a year and a half ago, about 14, 15 months. And she does on average one placement a month. That's it. And they hound her week in and week out. She says she gets on the call and they just rail her, man. Like, you got to get this up. I mean, so you're buying a job and you don't want that. And so the
Buying a
people
boss.
yeah, let me buy a boss. Let me buy somebody to supervise me. Let me give you a boatload of money so you can tell me what to do. I mean, it's like, I don't understand that concept, but I get it when some people, want to do that and they feel like, hey, they're getting that support. But that's what you get with TSL without the franchise model. And they want the freedom. And then what I see a lot of people with the freedom, they don't have the organizational skills, or they don't have the systems in place. They don't have structure. And if you don't have those things, you're not going to be able to grow, right? This business, I've said ad nausea, it is more than a name drop business. Matter of fact, it's no longer a name drop business. Communities will outright refuse to work with you if you're just trying to drop off a name and number. That's old school way of doing things. That's 10 years ago. And some of the franchises are still teaching, and not necessarily a name drop business, but they're still teaching this business like it was 10 years ago, like we're in 2015. And I was like, man, we got to get up to the par, get up to date where we are in this business. And technology is the way to go. We see AI all over the place, whether we like it, we don't like it. It is coming. You have to be willing to adapt, to adjust, and you're going to have to make that decision in this business. Do you want control? You want somebody controlling you? Or do you want to be an independent senior placement agent and don't really know the process, don't have systems in place? And then there's chaos. And then I'm telling you, with chaos, it's dysfunction, it's dissatisfaction. You're going to be in a place where you're like, man, I'm struggling to get leads. And if this is you out there, you're going, I'm struggling to get leads. I got a placement business, but I cannot get any viable, authentic leads, meaning authentic, like qualifiable leads, right? They can't pay for it. I'm doing pro bono all the time. I'm doing low income all the time. And I get some of that, right? Even Drew, in my own business, we're working with a lady right now. We just got it from a skilled nursing facility, and she can afford anywhere from $2,000 to $2,200 a month. Now, fortunately, her ADLs are next to none. She's at a place where she probably would need independent. That's still not quite where she needs to be. So I get it. We still get some of those leads. I mean, it's not like if you know certain strategies, or if you're in TSL, or you're allowing us to coach you, you'll never get a low income lead in your life. I mean, that's just going to happen. If you think that way, I don't know, you must be living on a rock, because if you're in sales, right? I mean, if you spent any portion of your time in sales, there's always going to be that client or that potential customer you talk to. They just cannot afford what you're offering, right? The price of the product, the price of the service, things like that. So, but man, I love this thing because franchise is a trap, I think, right? You pay high fees, have limited zip codes, strict branding rules, very little flexibility, and the independent struggle, because nobody wants that. They don't want that control. The independent struggle is you've got total freedom. You can wake up when you want to, right? Go to bed when you want to, make calls when you want to, go knock on doors when you want to, put a post out anytime you want. But then there's no structure, oftentimes no credibility, no access to verifiable leads because there's no brand. And so you get this, Drew, you get this whole thing of both models and just kind of capture growth. Yeah. I mean, one controls you, the other confuses you. But TSL was built to be a bridge. Drew, hit that home, man. TSL was built to be a bridge.
It's really designed for people who have big aspirations to grow their placement business and don't want those constraints, because there's so much upside in this industry. But you need the tools and the support and the freedom to make that dream a reality. And that's when we're striking the balance of TSL. It's a tool that generates leads that grow your business. And it's also gives you the freedom to operate, with unlimited, but, theoretically unlimited upside.
Most definitely. And if you're already 10 minutes into this video and you're like, okay, I'm still confused what TSL is, we've got a free webinar down below. just click the link and watch the webinar. You'll go see demonstrations. I'm not sure which webinar it is. We've done a couple of them. I think this is the one where we got some testimonies in there, some actual partners. If not, you can reach out to us. You can look at tourseniorliving.org and see where the partners are at all across the country. It is phenomenal. You really want to get in this game. If you want to be a senior placement agent and make a difference, you're going to need to have systems in place like TSL. And right now, no one else is actually doing this kind of thing. There's other sites out there that are similar, but man, there's some components that we have talked about on this channel. You can scroll down and watch some other TSL videos where we've gone over certain advantages that TSL has that no other system has. So we want you to be a part of that. So Drew, let's talk about freedom with framework, man. I mean, TSL gives you the freedom with direction, right? You own your own business. That's the cool thing about it. You're part of TSL when you join. And I had this conversation yesterday with someone. He's like, man, should I get a tourseniorliving.org email? And I said, you can if you want, but if I was you, I would want to concentrate on my own branding. TSL is here today. We'll be here for a long time, I'm sure, but it's all about making a difference in your community and having you stand out. Utilize TSL as a technology that's going to make you different because you'll be one of one. There's no other senior placement agent in your area that will be able to do this if you are the assigned TSL partner for your territory. So, I mean, you own your own business, but you finally have a system that helps you operate like a pro. Man, I love this freedom part of it, Drew. I mean, what kind of freedom does TSL give you?
Well, I think that the thing to state, number one, you keep 100% of the placement fee. Okay. It's important to state you keep 100%. We're not a franchise that's taken, 30% of every placement that you do. This is really a tool that's meant to empower your business. Sort of like Zillow, right? When you reach out to a realtor on Zillow, you're not reaching out to a Zillow.com realtor.
Right.
You're reaching out to a person with their own real estate company. And so same goes for you. Any leads you get from TSL, when we send a notification out to the community or to you, that'll have your business name and your name on there. TSL is very much, we're designed to be in the background, facilitating a connection. We're not front and center, taking credit for the placements that you're doing through the platform.
Man, so what Drew brought up, the partners, all those green dots, that is the partners across the country that we have right now. And that's only 8 months into it. We are having people left and right. If you are all interested in growing your senior placement agency, you are a franchisee or you are just an independent senior placement agent like I've been since the start, you need to be a part of this. Don't wait any longer. The longer you wait, the more those territories get taken. And so I have, unfortunately, Drew, even at this early stages of the game, I've had people call me and I had to tell them their territory is taken. And so if you feel like this is something you want to do or remotely interested, man, schedule the call down below. Just click the link. So Drew, get into it, man. Where's this one at?
This is St. Louis with Mike and Jenny Sontag.
Nice.
And I just want to kind of point out a couple of things here. When we, we're the call to action here is for them to contact you. So if a family's browsing around, they like Clarendale, Clayton, looks like a beautiful community. They can reach out to you, the placement agent here. They can call you or send you a message, or they can call the community directly using this phone. And anytime a lead calls one of your communities here, so Mike and Jenny will get an email that they're on with that community. So Clarendale, Clayton will get an email from us after the call. It'll CC Mike and Jenny. It'll have the call summary, what was discussed on the call, the caller ID. And we in that email, we say, okay, this lead that you got, Clarendale, Clayton, came from Mike and Jenny Sontag at Prime Senior Placement Solutions. So that lead is 100% Mike and Jenny. And when that lead moves in, Mike and Jenny collect 100% of the placement fee for that community.
Yeah, you mentioned Prime. I mean, Mike and Jenny are a franchisee. We have a couple of those already as partners, and we'll get more and more, I'm sure, that are out there. So this concept is phenomenal. I love the idea that the resident and or family member has the option to call the placement agent, in this case, Mike and Jenny, or they can contact the community, and it doesn't really matter. They'll still get paid for either route, either way. That doesn't happen in the traditional sense. So if you are a franchisee, you're still going to have the resident contact you, and you're going to have to call the community on their behalf in order to get paid, as well as a local senior placement agent independent. You're going to do that. But with TSL, again, it's the bridge. Man, this opens up doors that you will not have available to you to date. So love it. Man, it's just amazing. It's revolutionized our business. It's really opened up doors. My marketing director has gotten into a couple more skilled nursing facilities, Drew, and it's been because of TSL. It's the difference maker. It's walking in and demonstrating something that will help assist the social worker in doing his or her job. And it's not going in with a business card saying, my name is, let's sit down and have a cup of coffee, or I bring you a coffee and let's see about you giving me leads. It's
I
about,
have to verbally persuade you and establish my credibility based on my words.
yeah,
Why are you different than so and so placement agent that we've been working with for years? That's a high bar to clear to
it
to
definitely
establish
is.
your own credibility. But that's the cool thing about TSL, is that you can put this product in front of them, the social worker, and without words, they instantly get it, and differentiates you and professionalizes what you're doing, and speaks for itself.
You mentioned credibility, man. It's credibility without chains. Trust through technology. Families and professionals can see that you're active, you're transparent and local. It builds instant trust. And what I love about it is it shows that you're active. Like, you have a legitimate site. Okay. There's plenty of senior placement agents out there have a website. And this is off on a tangent. I won't get in on it, but all those websites look all the same. I mean, if I can give you one pro tip, if you're just not going to get involved in TSL and you just want to have a website and be the traditional way, make your website a little bit different than everyone else. They all look the same, except they got different colors and different brand name. And so just make it a little bit different. But this here will make you transparent, because when we talk to families, it's way different now with TSL than it was in the traditional sense. Now what we do is we're able to insert their care needs into the software, and it immediately uploads all the communities that will meet those care needs for the loved one. Where in a traditional sense, it's like, okay, let me sit down with you, go through a contact form, a questionnaire, blah, blah, blah. And then what's going to happen is it's going to, we'll get to the place where you do all that, and then we'll pull up maybe 2 or 3 communities in the area. And then if I'm playing the devil's advocate, right, and you're giving me 2 or 3 options, which I've done for years, you guys. I'm not saying I've never done this in full transparency, but as I got more involved with TSL, I started thinking, if you gave me just 2 or 3 options, I'm thinking, well, aren't there like another 50 to 100 out there? What's wrong with those options? Or are you telling me that only 2 or 3 are really good and the other 97 are not good? Or what's the deal? And so it kind of posed more questions in my mind, where TSL brings more clarification, right, Drew?
Yeah, because there's always that perception of bias with a traditional senior placement agent when they're only showing you a few select communities. There may not be any bias in the recommendations. These are just the recommendations, but there's always the perception of bias because you're acting as kind of this filter that's opaque. They don't really understand how you filtered the communities down. But what's cool about TSL is that the filter there is transparent, and they can filter themselves. So that if they know that they're going to need palliative care, they can filter down on those communities that offer palliative care as part of the program. And it removes that perception of bias, which just means more credibility to you, the senior placement agent.
Yeah, and I love it that I would be backed by a national platform, but I'm not part of a franchise. And I mean, this is you be part of something bigger, but you still own your own brand. So you would be your company. You don't work for TSL. You utilize TSL as a conduit to get to where you want to go. I mean, we're kind of the tool that you need, right? To be successful in business. I've said this a lot on this channel is mindset, skill set, tool set in order to be successful in anything. And so tool set in this case would be towards senior living. You've got this in your tool set. It'll be like no one else, right? And the technology does build authority. I mean, when you have your name, like we just looked at Mike and Jenny in their territory, when somebody pulls up that and they see this with their name on it, and they see all the different things, like this operates like Zillow, right? For senior living, and you can click on different care needs and up pops a community, things like that. That brings immediate authority in this industry, right? No other senior placement agent is going to be able to do this in your territory. I mean, they can talk about it and they can talk about the differences, but if you're talking with someone, it's easier to see. I don't know, everybody's not like me, but I'm more of a visual kind of guy, Drew. I like to see something. So if I'm on the phone with you and you're a local senior placement agent and you're telling me about the options for my mom and I'm listening to you, that's one thing. But Drew, if you got me online and started showing me this and started walking through systematically how we could do an approach in a search like this, I'm all in. I mean, it's a game changer.
Yeah, it's a picture's worth 1,000 words, and maybe a video's worth 1,000 pictures. So we'll actually help you create a video demonstrating your territory that you can share with other communities, with other SNFs and hospitals. But it's using a familiar pattern, you know, the Zillow user interface. Everyone is kind of familiar with how that works. So it's not some kind of brand new thing they've never seen before. They're like, oh, this is like Zillow, but for senior living. They're able to get it immediately and start using it.
Yeah, I mean, I got down here, so it's your digital backbone. It gives you visibility, verification, organization, all in one platform. I mean, every community is mapped, categorized, updated, giving you credible real-time info to share with families. I love the real-time piece right there more than anything, because when you go back to the social worker example, you're actually giving them real information in real time. I mean, a lot of the information that's out there is outdated. I mean, you're either running into a Google ad or you're running into some, business or community on Google and you get a little bit of information. But here, man, it's real information in real time. And that, I'm telling you, it's a game changer for social workers, discharge planners, anybody working in the assisted living space, medical space that deal with seniors, that really want to help seniors. This is a game changer. All right. So the bridge, man, to the future. I mean, TSL isn't a franchise, right, Drew? It's not a franchise. Right. It's free for all in a sense. Sorry, my dogs are barking in the background. My marketing director just showed up at the door, and my dogs are letting me know that she's here. So
she has arrived.
I got a built-in office in front of my house, and usually the gate of the and halfway through the house is further back, but my wife was doing something, so it's actually closer in the office. I apologize for the dog activity going on in the background. I love my puppies, just not real cool and conducive for video, but hopefully that,
no, you can barely hear him.
Hopefully that's music to your ears out there. I mean, it's good. But it's free for all. About TSL. It's the new model now. TSL is not free, but it is much less expensive. I mean, gosh, just a fraction of the cost for what a franchise. I mean, it's unbelievable to get in on it. I know, and I'm a little biased because I'm with TSL, right? You and I are partners and things like that. But if I try to take that out of the equation, if I was starting my business back in 2018, which I did, and TSL was around, man, I'd be one of those people that would be involved with TSL because it is a game changer. I don't have to spend a buku's amount of money. I mean, you literally could finance this thing probably for a couple $100 a month just to get started. I mean, you put that in
It's a
financing.
f Yeah, it's a flat subscription fee, and we wanted it to be that way because we wanted your upside to just be unlimited. So you keep 100% of what you earn. That was really important to us, and that's why we're not a franchise.
Absolutely, man. So it's freedom and structure. You keep your independence, but gain support and systems that drive success. I love that piece there. I mean, community over competition, right? You're part of a nationwide movement of professionals, not a corporate machine. And I love that piece too, Drew, as far as the national movement of professionals. Every Tuesday evening, we do this partner meeting, which is so cool because we have other partners throughout the nation, all those little green dots you saw at the beginning of the video. And people are sharing testimonies and different things, and they're sharing challenges as well. They're sharing some concerns. They're sharing some, give me some help or whatever. I mean, that's just the collaboration part of it. I love, but we do like this past Tuesday or Tuesday before, I think it was Tuesday before, we got a bunch of testimonies of, man, lead after lead after lead. That must have been a hot week because, man, they were just cooking with leads. And so if you're an independent senior placement agent out there and you're not cooking with leads, you need to get with TSL and start getting cooking with leads, because that is unbelievable. Because if you want to scale your business and not just sustain it, right? I mean, I say this all the time, especially people I talk to on the phone about TSL. They ask me far as, well, can I sustain my business, as what I'm doing? And if they know the process, they know some strategies, they have some key contacts, and those key contacts just don't ever vanish, don't ever disappear. They always stay in that one little spot and can give you some leads. Yeah, your business is sustainable, but that's not reality. People move around all the time. I had a skilled nursing, Drew, that we did. I moved them to a place of exclusivity. It's all prior to TSL, and moved them to a place of exclusivity, meaning that they were only giving me leads, and I was getting a lot of leads. And her name was Stephanie, and wonderful individual. Well, Stephanie gave me a call one day a couple of years ago and went, "Hey, Matt, I'm going to another skilled nursing facility." My immediate thought was, no big deal. We'll just move the exclusivity over to that skilled nursing. Come to find out, when she went to the other skilled nursing, she was working long-term residents. She wasn't working short-term. So it kind of put a nix into that. And so this other skilled nursing, we went through a dry period trying to establish a relationship with the new social worker, and one thing led to another. Now, recently, she just moved on, and my marketing director moved in, and now we're getting ready to get TSL in there and get hopping. So I'm super excited about that, but you can definitely scale your business through TSL.
Yeah,
Unlike,
because in this business, you're right, yeah, Matt. If you're not growing, you are kind of dying in a way,
yeah,
because the average tenure for a social worker in a skilled nurse, I think, is like 18 months, based on the administrators that I've interviewed. So turnover is very high. So you might have a good thing going right now, but you need some kind of a permanent presence in the SNF that lives on even when the social worker churns, and that is the TSL tablet that you can have there. So when a new social worker comes in, you've got a touch point to work around, and you become part of their workflow from a technology's perspective, not just another phone number, another brochure, another business card.
yeah. And then another reason I like about it too, Drew, is you get a link, right? A link, a URL to your landing page. And I can put this on my social media, which I do. People can land on this, even apart from social workers, apart from discharge planners, apart from different other medical professionals. And they get on there, and you can reach the families directly. It's how the national companies do it all the time. National companies don't care. I mean, I don't mean they don't care, but they just don't, they're not overly concerned whether the social worker is still there or not. Like my predicament was when Stephanie left, I was up a creek without a paddle. The national company would be like, oh, well, we're just going to reach the residents. We're going to reach the people directly. And TSL gives you that option, that opportunity to reach people directly, right? So you've really got to ask yourself out there, what side of the bridge are you on? Are you on the controlled side? You're a franchisee, and if you're locked into a 10-year commitment, that's one thing. You can still be a part of TSL. If you're on the chaotic side, which that's me, as a local senior placement agent. Again, that's not being overly critical. That's just, it can be very chaotic if you don't know what you're doing. If you're not committed to the business and you're not doing some things systematically in your business, you're not going to grow, right? Or are you ready to build with TSL, the bridge that we put these two together? Because in reality, there's some strengths to franchises, right? There's some strengths to there. That's why you're spending $75,000, $85,000 up front and $800 to $3,000 per month over a 10-year period of time, because you see the value in it, right? You wouldn't be spending that kind of money unless you saw the value. And then you would not be working as an independent senior placement agent unless you saw the value in it. And that value is the freedom. Well, let's combine the infrastructure, the resources, and the freedom, and let's bring them together. And when we bring that together, that's TSL.
Yeah, because like you mentioned, Matt, a lot of our TSL customers are franchisees, and so they kind of see these things working together.
Yeah, man. Well, hopefully you appreciated this today. We really appreciate you. If you'll know more about TSL, there's a link down below to watch a free webinar. I'm also doing a senior placement challenge coming up in November 17th through the 21st. We just completed one 2 weeks ago. It's phenomenal. People across the country were watching me. Just click the link there. You'll hear some testimonies via video and some written testimonies, all that good stuff. And you can schedule a consultation call with me. So until next time, God bless.